And welcome back to day 3. It's Championship Sunday at Nicolay Field here on the campus of Adrian College and the Adrian Regional. I'm Darian Pitcher alongside my partner Joe Templin. We will be bringing you through all of today's action. We will see the Heidelberg Student Princes, the home team, taking on Adrian College Bulldogs, who came out of the losers bracket. They won 2 last night against La Roche and Denison, and Heidelberg just had to beat Denison. This is a rematch of our round 1 opener from day 1, game number 2, and Heidelberg took that one 4-3 to move on. The starting lineup for Adrian, batting first in center field is Zach Shearing. Second spot is Thomas Miller, the shortstop. In the 3 spot, Gunnar Rainey, the catcher. Batting fourth is Brady Wood, the second baseman. Dugan Darnell is at third, batting fifth. First baseman Chad Paddock hits sixth. 7th spot, the new face in the lineup, Kevin Cordenti. He's played some this tournament. He'll get the start in the designated hitter spot. Jason Croce's in the 8th spot in right field, and Brandon Cooper, the big bat in the late innings, rounds out the lineup in left field. Defense for the Student Princes, Marco Show is throwing down signs. Kyle Jenkins at third, Zack Doran at short, Tyler Smith at second, Parker Franck at first, Matt Sykes in left, Robert Hunt in center, Kane Bateman in right field, and Tristan Phillips is the pitcher. Zach Shearing steps in. Buckle your seatbelts. We've played 5 games to get to this point. We're ready to play regional championship baseball. First pitch underway is a fastball outside from Tristan Phillips.
It's a junior pitcher on the mound for the Student Princes. He finds the strike zone there, making only his 6th start this year, but he carries a 6-0 record. 1 complete game, 47 innings pitched, 43 hits allowed, 18 runs, 14 of those earned, 7 walks, 33 strikeouts, 2.68 ERA.
That one an easy out. Grounded over to first to start the game. Brings up shortstop Thomas Miller.
Phillips' last start was in the conference semifinal in the OAC against Ohio Northern. Went the distance, only giving up 9 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts for Phillips.
First pitch swinging is Miller, and that one's a bloop single into left field. First hit of the day, and Miller stays hot in the regional tournament. Brings up catcher Gunnar Rainey.
Had that shaky start in the first game, but Miller settled in nicely starting yesterday and continuing into today, it looks like.
First pitch misses for ball 1. Misses on the first pitch as well. That's the count 2-0.
Rainey struggled a bit in day 2 yesterday, going 1 for 10 in the 2 games after starting 3 for 4 against the Student Princes on Friday. He's got a favorable count now, though, with a 3-1.
That one finds his own for strike 1. Rainey was taken all the way there.
Rainey fights that one off to stay alive. Looks like the Bulldogs are going to elect to not send Miller with a full count and only 1 out here.
Payoff pitch from Phillips. Swing and a miss from Rainey. Throw behind Miller. Not in time. So Rainey's struggle continues against the Student Princes. Brings up second baseman Brady Wood.
Now batting the second baseman, number 11, Brady Wood.
That one misses the zone. Line shot into left field again. 2-out single for Brady Wood. Moves Miller in scoring position for Dugan Darnell. Darnell also been quiet with the bat so far.
Yeah, he's a guy that's got to step it up for the Bulldogs here. Went 0 for 4 in last night's game against Denison. And 0 for 4 in the first game against LaRoche. 0 for 8 yesterday. 1 for 4 against Heidelberg. So 1 for 12, not really what you want to see on your number 5 hitter.
Although he's struggled at the plate, he does have a win in this postseason on the mound. He's done very well defensively. Still plays a big role on this Adrian team.
I think if you ask him, I think he'd rather have the save instead of that win against LaRoche. That one that he ended up blowing the 6-out save in the 9th, and the game went on to 10 innings where the Bulldogs were able to pull it out.
Fouls this one off. Runs the count to 1-2. The 1-2, swing and a miss from Darnell. They get Miller to second, but can't move him any further. 2 strikeouts for Tristan Phillips, and the regional championship is underway. We go to the bottom of the first. Kane Bateman, Kyle Jenkins, Matt Sykes due up for Heidelberg.
Scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III. A lot of people pick schools just based on the sport and don't get that experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court.
I'm also the Schwartz Scholar of my class. Schwartz Scholarship is basically a scholarship that is given to a student who's identified as a likely leader.
And the end of the day, it won't matter how they play on the field, it will matter how they do in the classroom. Division III schools offer academic scholarships instead of athletic scholarships. This really puts the focus that the student athlete needs to maintain that GPA.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III. A lot of people pick schools just based on the sport and don't get that experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court.
I'm also the Schwartz Scholar of my class. Schwartz Scholarship is basically a scholarship that is given to a student who's identified as a likely leader.
And the end of the day, it won't matter how they play on the field, it will matter how they do in the classroom. Division III schools.
So Kane Bateman, the leadoff batter for the Student Princes, was 2 for 4 yesterday in his game against Denison. Watches the first pitch from Jordan Williams for a strike.
Sophomore pitcher for the Bulldogs, making his 11th start on the year, 7-1 record, 48.1 innings pitched coming in, 46 hits allowed, 28 runs, 25 of those earned, 24 walks, 46 strikeouts, 4.66 ERA. Last pitch on May 4th, in the second game against Hope, got the win, only went 5 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts for Williams in that one.
We've seen pretty good pitching from the Adrian staff so far this tournament. Gotten themselves in some trouble, but more times than not, gotten themselves out of it. And even when they do give up a little bit, that's exactly what it was, just a little bit. Especially after they settled in after losing to Heidelberg. They played great in the elimination bracket.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the one start, if you look at the Bulldogs, they'd like to have back was Denny's. He struggled a little bit, definitely lacked the control, only threw a first pitch strike to half the batters he faced. Went out early, but still got the win, pitched well enough to put the Bulldogs in a position to get that W. Relievers gave up a run late in the game, but the offense was able to pull through. Great team wins for the Bulldogs yesterday.
Two and two is in the dirt. That's blocked by Gunnar Rainey behind the plate. Dugan Darnell's at third. Thomas Miller's at short. Brady Wood at second. Chad Paddock at first, rounding out the infield. Brandon Cooper's in left. Zach Shearing in center. Jason Croce in right behind Williams today. In left field, the hot spot for base hits here in the championship game.
That's where Bateman got both of his hits yesterday, opposite field for the left-handed hitter. Ripped 2 doubles down the left field line. Later came around to score in the first inning on a pair of wild pitches from the Denison pitcher.
Brings up Kyle Jenkins. Jenkins was 0 for 3 yesterday. He also got hit by a pitch.
And in the postseason, you'll take your bases any way you can get them.
Williams goes to first to check on Bateman. Behind Jenkins is Matt Sykes, the left fielder. He hits in the 3 spot. Marco Shoa, the catcher's in the 4 hole. Parker Franck bats 5th, plays first. Second baseman Tyler Smith is in the 6th spot. Eric DeVore, designated hitter, in the 7th spot. Zack Doran, the shortstop, bats 8th. And rounding up the lineup is center fielder Robert Hunt. Runner goes. Not in time as the throw is high from Gunner. Looked like a protective swing there from Jenkins to allow the runner to get to second.
Yeah, a little bit of a strange throw there from Rainey. Usually don't see a looping throw like that from him. You know, watching him throw down to second in between innings, it's a little unexpected to see out of him, but could have been caused by that batter swinging there.
Swing and a miss. It was tipped into the glove of Gunnar Rainey. First strikeout for Jordan Williams. Brings up Matt Sykes. Sykes was 0 for 4. The last game against Denison. Williams checks the runner. Starts off Sykes with a breaking ball. Can't get it to come down and find the zone.
Sykes with a nose for getting bases off the bat. Currently 10th in the nation with 121 total bases this year.
Finds himself in a good hitter's count, 2-0. Watches that one go in for strike one.
As you can imagine, that greatly boosts the slugging percentage. .654 heading into today for the senior. Michigan native, actually, from Ypsilanti, Michigan. Went to high school at Ann Arbor, Huron, so just 45, 50 minutes away from here.
Two one's a breaking ball. That one also finds the zone as Jordan Williams has worked back to even the count at 2-2. Two-two's a fastball in the dirt. Can't get him to chase.
Syke is one of 3 players from Michigan on this Heidelberg roster.
Big swing and a miss there. He kind of gives a look at the umpire. He didn't agree with the ones that were called to strike. David Kernan behind the plate. Gary Harrell's out at first. Mark Snyder is covering the bag at second, and Corey Ray is over at third. The outstanding umpiring crew that's been here throughout this Adrian Regional. Everybody getting a piece of the action today.
Yeah, bumped up to a 4-man crew from a 3-man crew from the rest of the games. If we have to go to that second game, if Adrian wins, it will still be a 4-man crew, just a little bit of rotation in.
Breaking ball starts off Marco Shoa, junior from North Royalton, Ohio. Very highly decorated catcher. As a freshman, he took the mound as well. Saw 28 games, splitting time between behind the dish and on the mound. Threw 22 pitches, innings, over 13 outings. Had a 2-3 record, not bad for a catcher. He's kind of settled into his catching role this year.
Gets to see both sides of the action in the battery there.
Comes in with a .339 batting average. 59 hits on 174 at-bats. 9 doubles, 3 triples, and 6 home runs. All that driving in 45 runs. Struck out 46 times, walked 25. So he fills the stat line, to say the least. He's ahead here on Williams, 3-0. Taking all the way for strike one.
Showa is also tied for 13th in Division III with 7 sacrifice flies entering today. Also a great defensive catcher. Led the OAC this year in runners caught stealing. We already saw him catch 1 in the Adrian game on Friday.
This one on the ground, Darnell. Darnell fires across the diamond to Chad Paddock in time for out number 3. 6, 7, 8 due up for Adrian. We're deadlocked at 0. We'll be back for the second inning here on ACTV.
Division III allows you to be able to give yourself to other things. Not even just participate in them, but really get involved with them if you want to.
There's a lot of interaction. It's not just sitting back, taking notes. You're actually doing hands-on things and better preparing yourself for your major.
Choosing a Division III school, I've had the opportunity to develop my leadership skills and to be more involved on campus.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate, in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
And to have opportunity to have time to join clubs and being able to play basketball, it allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Chad Paddock steps in. He'll be followed up by Kevin Cordenti and Jason Croce. First pitch swinging. Weak ground ball to Tyler Smith, who's able to make the play.
We've seen Paddock swing a lot on the first pitch in this regional. Also takes a lot of power swings there in the 6th spot. Doesn't necessarily connect as much as he'd like.
So Kevin Cordenti is going to step in. Freshman getting the nod in the designated hitter spot. It's kind of been rotated around a bit in this regional. Coach Craig Rainey's kind of had a short leash on it. If you're not going to perform, we're going to find someone that will. We need production. That one's sent into center field. Caught by Robert Hunt.
Yeah, the 6, 7, 8 spots for the Bulldogs kind of rotating through in this regional, just trying to figure out what is going to work for the team to get out of this regional and into the Super Regional next weekend.
Brings up Jason Croce. He's also played in that designated hitter spot, but he's going to be out in right field today, which he has been through most of the tournament.
Yeah, Trisha Richardson came in and played right field in last night's game against Denison.
Croce was 0 for 2 yesterday with a walk and a run. Yeah, a sac fly as well. Makes him 1 for 9. Make it 1 for 10 as he can't pull the trigger. The 3rd strikeout for Phillips. The Bulldogs go 1, 2, 3. Parker Franck, Tyler Smith, Eric DeVore due up for the Student Princes.
I know sports is important, but having the academic part along with it is a big plus.
I've discovered in myself, a newfound ability to overcome adversity at all different angles. At a Division III school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual. The end result in my mind is you just become a very well-rounded person.
Before I came into college, I didn't really think I'd be able to balance so much. It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
With a D3 school, there's a lot of time for other opportunities. The coaches expect a lot of you during soccer, but after soccer, that's your own personal time to really find out who you are and other opportunities that you can pursue.
By balancing all of my interests, basketball, my leadership skills, and academics, I'm able to better prioritize my life and to manage it.
Parker Franck's going to lead things off here in the bottom of the 2nd for the Student Princes. He'll be followed by Tyler Smith and Eric DeVore. Looks at that one for ball 1 from Williams.
Parker was 0 for 3 yesterday. Was hit by a pitch. This one sent over to Brady Wood. Gets it to first in time for out number 1.
It's the second time we've seen a soft ground out to second to start off the inning, as that's exactly what Paddock did for the Bulldogs in the top half of the second.
Williams hoping he can get the same production out of his trip to the mound. Followed up with a 1-2-3 just like Heidelberg did in the top half. Brings up Tyler Smith. Tyler had a bunt single yesterday.
We've seen a few of those bunt singles so far in this tournament. Beautiful to see the small ball still being utilized.
That pulls Dugan Darnell into the cut. Big swing on 2-0 for a strike.
You see Heidelberg back in their black jerseys with the white pants, orange letters that they wore on Friday. Bulldogs back to the yellow jerseys they had on last night with the white pants, trying to keep the mojo going from the win that they had last night. The wind back to the direction we're used to here at Nicolay Field. Definitely going to help those balls fly over that right field fence.
That one fought off to keep the count 2-2. Williams bounces in the 2-2 pitch. Seen a few of those. He had a couple in warm-ups as well. Yes, if you're going to miss, it's going to be that way is a better option than missing over the middle. He will not go 1-2-3 of this inning as Tyler Smith draws a walk. Brings up Eric DeVore, the designated hitter. Couple of doubles, couple of strikeouts. So when he made contact last night, it was all well.
Also ripped 2 doubles down the left field line yesterday, just like Bateman did.
And there's another shot into a gap. This one's going to get down and bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. So DeVore seems like one of those hitters. It's either a double or nothing. This time it's a ground rule double.
And it looked like center fielder Shearing was shaded a little bit on the left side. If you noted that he pulled those 2 hits yesterday to the left field line, so the shift might have hurt the Bulldogs there on that one as DeVore goes a little bit opposite field there. Trouble brewing now as the Student Princes get 2 runners on in scoring position with only 1 out for Zack Doran.
Swinging and fouled off on the first pitch. He had a double yesterday as well, reached on a fielder's choice. Scored 1 run for the Student Princes. That was in the 5th inning, the last run that they scored. And what was essentially enough to get past Denison. This one, a chopper back to the mound. Throw over to first in time. The play at the plate is knocked. And Tyler Smith will come home to score on the ground out from Zack Doran. Williams did the right thing, checked at third, went to first. I almost have to wonder if he could have done it a little bit longer to hold the runner a little bit more. It was pretty close at first.
He waited just about as long as he could to get Doran out at first. Definitely didn't want to load the bases there with one out. Tried his best to throw, just not in time to get the speedy Smith from third.
It's good heads-up base running as well. Gave him enough to think that he was going back to third and then took off for home on the throw. That gets Heidelberg out front. For Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt was 0 for 4 yesterday, 0 for 3. He drove in Zack Doran.
Yeah, he had that sacrifice fly there in the 5th, the game-winning RBI for the Student Princes. As this is the first time Heidelberg has jumped out in front of Adrian, the 3rd time they've played this year, as the Bulldogs drew first blood way back at the beginning of the year and in game 1 of the two teams regional. So we'll see if history will stay the same and the team that takes the lead to start off ends up losing the game here.
Heidelberg comes in with the slight advantage of coming out of the winner's bracket. So they will have to lose twice to be eliminated today. Hunt watches that for a strike to run the count full.
Big pitch here for Jordan Williams.
This is high. Puts runners on the corners. Brings up the top of the lineup in Kane Bateman. He singled back in the 1st, has a stolen base. He also had a couple doubles yesterday. Came around to score on a wild pitch in the 1st.
And it was those wild pitches that did Dennison in, as he got from 3rd and home on a wild pitch, and then a wild pitch moved Doran over to 3rd that set up the sacrifice fly. So self-inflicted wounds kind of doing Dennison in the winner's bracket yesterday, and then ultimately falling to Adrian in last night's elimination game.
This one sent to center. Shearing's there to make the play. So Heidelberg gets one. Brings up 9-1-2 for the Bulldogs at the top of the 3rd.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Get someone a car.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy,
but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Well, fans of this regional are going to want to pay attention to the regional currently going on in Worcester, Ohio, as the winner of this one will face the winner of that one. Worcester's currently up 4-0 on Case Western Reserve, but Case is the home team. They're the undefeated team in that regional, as Worcester went down in game 1, so Worcester will have to win 2 games to make it out of there to face the winner of this one. That one currently in the bottom of the 4th, 4-0 Worcester.
Back here in Adrian, Brandon Cooper, the leadoff hitter in the 9 spot.
Late game heroics continued for Cooper yesterday, hitting that home run in the 7th.
Here he's got a grounder to left field. Where else? For a leadoff single. And Joe, we've been talking about how superstitious baseball players can be. Our graphics guy, Pedro Gonzalez, heard him in a conversation last night saying he's going to go home and eat the same exact meal that he's eaten all regional. So it is a thing, proven fact. And whatever he's eating, it's working. We might want to take a trip over to the Cooper residence and figure out what that is.
Yeah, can he be my new dietitian?
It's whatever that meal is, it's worked out phenomenally. He gets to the top of the lineup with Zach Shearing. Shearing grounded out to first in his first appearance. That's kind of been the story, is Cooper's done it pretty phenomenally in this regional, getting it back to the top of the order. And the top of the order hasn't really produced as well as the 9 spot.
No, it's interesting to see the 9 spot producing as much as it is and then not so much at the top. Granted, yesterday, Shearing did get a hit, went 1 for 3, and then Miller woke up in both games yesterday. Rainey has struggled, though, and the middle part of the order has also struggled.
This one gets away from Oshoa. Cooper makes it into second. Oshoa's got an arm. You've talked about it throughout this regional. Thrown out over 20 runners on the season. He's going to get tabbed with a pass ball.
Yeah, a little bit self-inflicted there, but that arm almost made up for it, as that was a very close play, one that you don't expect to be that close.
And Cooper's a speedy guy. That ball did trickle quite the distance away from Oshoa, and it was still a close play. Counts 3-1 on the center fielder. Gonna check on Cooper.
This could be the answer that the Bulldogs need. If that heart of the order can find itself. Miller already with a single today, Wood with a single, and we'll just need Gunnar Rainey to wake up for the Bulldogs here, as they got a runner in scoring position with 0 outs. How about 2 on with no outs?
If you look back to yesterday, Shearing was hit by a pitch in the 3rd, stole a base to get into scoring position. He later came around to scored. Now he's walked here in the 3rd again. Brings up Thomas Miller. Miller squares the bunt, puts it on the line in 3rd. Pitcher has to cover that line. Perfectly placed bunt's going to load him up. Bunt single for Thomas Miller.
Another beautiful bunt single in this regional. I think we've seen about one every game so far, and that's an area that the Bulldogs have struggled in. They have struggled trying to get those bunts down. Now, Rainey, yesterday's first game against LaRoche, came up to bat with the bases loaded twice. Didn't produce. Swung at the first pitch the first time, popped out to right. He's got no outs. Rainey needs to settle down here, take his time, wait for his pitch, and drive in those runs.
Beautiful bunt call by the Adrian coaching staff. You have a left-handed pitcher on the mound. If you can place it down the 3rd base side, that is his line to cover. 3rd baseman has to cover the bag with a runner on 2nd. Perfectly executed by Thomas Miller. And that's the beauty of baseball, is there's so much little things, little strategic moves. Similar to chess, you have to be one move ahead. That if you can see all that and you can paint that picture, it's a beautiful game.
Miller actually made it 2 players in a row looking to lay down bunts, as Shearing was looking to put down the bunt before he got walked, and actually before Cooper took it to 2nd, because with that base open, there's no more reason to bunt. Get it over to 3rd, but he's still in scoring position, and Cooper's got enough speed where a base hit would score him from 2nd. Mound Conference broken up. The 1-0 to Rainey.
Watches that one for ball 2. Now Rainey's worked himself into a very favorable situation. 2-0 count. Bases are loaded. There's nowhere to put him. Walk scores a run. That will even things back up. Base hit scores at least 1. And almost anything in the outfield scores 1. Foul ball back up into the press box. Netting. Those will bite you if you're not paying attention.
Got me on one yesterday. Always got to keep your head up.
2-1. This one popped up and foul. Phillips has worked his way back into this count, 2-2. See you checking out the weather over there as the clouds are moving in here at Adrian. The game got moved ahead half an hour up to 11:30 if you're just now tuning in. You've missed 1 run, a couple of innings. Defensive battle as we've seen throughout this entire regional.
Yeah, it's kind of been the story so far is teams can get runners on, just can't move them around. And Denison yesterday, 17 runners stranded in that game.
That's a major stat that you're going to highlight and you're going to look at on the way home and say, if we put half of those in, we'll win almost any ball game we play. Here's a drive from Gunnar Rainey. That's going to find the hole in left field. Cooper scores. Shearing's around third. He scores. 2 RBI single for Gunnar Rainey. And that right there could be what it takes to get that big bat. And when we say big bat, we mean big bat for Gunnar Rainey. MIAA Player of the Year, batting average leader. You don't want him hot at the plate if you're Heidelberg.
No, and we talked about his confidence and him saying, whenever he gets up to the plate, he's confident that he can do what he needs to do. We haven't seen it so much after that first day, so eventually that self-doubt's going to start creeping in. So that is not only huge for the Bulldogs, but also huge for Rainey.
Grady Wood lays down a sacrifice bunt. Moves the runners.
Now only
Brings
one
up
out.
Dugan Darnell.
Only one out here for the Bulldogs and runners on second and third again. And another guy that needs to get going for the Bulldogs, Dugan Darnell. Struggled mightily yesterday. 0 for 8, I believe. Struck out swinging here today. He's another guy that could use a big hit.
He was 0 for 4. Makes him 1 for 13 collective in this regional. Shot in the gap will make him forget about all of that. This one a weak bouncer back to the pitcher. He stumbles a little bit, but he's able to make the play at first. Brings up Chad Paddock.
First baseman number 23, Chad Paddock.
Almost ended up with that infield single for Darnell, but not quite. And obviously with that, just a weak grounder to the pitchers. No safety squeeze there as the runners hold at second and third.
Paddock, you've talked a lot about his swing in this regional tournament. Talk about how long, sweeping, kind of a power swing he has. But we've seen him kind of shorten it up a bit. And when he does that, it seems to work. He's going to really have to do that here. Try to not leave too stranded. This one's skied into right field. Easy play for Kane Bateman. The Bulldogs will strand 2, but they do score 2. Back in the fourth we go as they answer the 1-run score in the bottom of the second to take 2 in the top of the third. 2-3-4 due up for Heidelberg.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that, with what we were given, comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference. For the love of the game, that's what it's all about.
Kyle Jenkins, Matt Sykes, and Marco Shoa. The three batters due up for the Student Princes. They watch their lead vanish in the top of the third. This one's skied up. Foul and out of play.
We touched on it briefly after Heidelberg scored, but it's been the same thing all year long with these two teams. One team scores first to take the lead, the other team's right back there. Usually they just tie it up, but not this time. The Bulldogs are able to take back that lead and get ahead themselves.
I'll be honest, back game two when these two teams played, when Adrian put up the 2 spot in the first, I thought that was going to be a good sign for them. They were going to be hot, and when you come into a regional, give up 2 runs in the first inning, it could leave you a little shook. But they answered the door right back, put up 2 of their own.
Yeah, especially in the top of the first. That's the first thing that's going on. You haven't had a chance to bat. It's just you and the defense. They put up 2 quickly on you. But, I mean, Heidelberg's probably thinking back to that first game, say, hey, they did that already to us. And look what we did. We came up, drubbed them 16-5. We can still do this.
That one's fouled off. Stay alive at 2-2. Two from Williams. Fastball swung on and fouled out play.
Seventh offering in this at-bat coming up from Williams, tied for the longest we've seen so far in this game.
Breaking ball can't get into chase. It's a good spot for a 2-2 pitch. Started in the zone, had it break down and out.
We've already seen Williams lose 1 batter on a high pitch count walk. Tyler Smith back in the second drew a 7-pitch walk. Here's the 8th.
Bouncer over to Tommy Miller. He makes the play. Brings up Matt Sykes. He struck out in the first. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. So we see for Adrian, the bottom half of the lineup, particularly 5 through 8, has been the kind of struggle and Achilles heel of this batting order. The top 4 for Heidelberg has kind of taken that role for them.
Yeah, Bateman's been the bright spot, just like, you look at the bottom half of Adrian, you see Cooper, the bright spot in the 9. Bright spot's the number 1 spot there for Student Princes, but that 2 through 5 spot really been struggling so far, at least yesterday in this tournament.
And look at their score sheet against Denison. Not a lot going on. It was a 2-1, very defensive pitcher's duel. They were able to squeak their way by. And you'll take it if you're Coach Fitzgerald. A win's a win, no matter how good looking or bad looking it may be.
They don't ask how, they just ask how many.
The 2-1 misses high. Williams has fallen behind quite a bit early on. fouled off. Runs the count full.
Looking to get Sykes here for the second time already today.
That one, strike 3 at the knees. Had Sykes fooled.
And that's the second time we've seen Sykes turn around to home plate umpire David Kernan after striking out. The first one was a swinging strikeout. Didn't like some of the earlier calls. That one called strike 3, not agreeing with what Sykes saw.
Brings up catcher Marco Ochoa. That's not really a person you want to be on the bad side of. Is doing that, glaring back at the umpire, has no benefit to you whatsoever. Especially when you're wanting calls. If you want to call, you better be on their good side. But if you're looking at him like that, as an umpire, 50-50, that's in your memory bank.
Maybe the only saving grace for Sykes there is that the next guy up's the catcher, the one who spends the most time next to Kernan behind the plate, so maybe he can smooth things over a little bit, say, hey, don't worry about him.
One misses high. Counts even 2-2. The delivery from Williams is a fastball and fouled off.
Student Princess getting that pitch count of Williams up high already. Already over 60 pitches here on the day.
That one fought off as well. Back in the first, Williams gave up a hit to the leadoff guy and sat 2-3-4 down in order. Looking to do the same. That one bounces in. Runs the count full.
Another one bounces into the dirt, and we'll see yet another 8-pitch at-bat here in this inning.
Payoff pitch. Line shot in the left center field gap. That one's going to get to the wall. And Ochoa will get to second with a stand-up double. Brings up first baseman Parker Franck. Franck was 0 for 3 yesterday. Was hit by a pitch.
Let's see if the Student Princes can get a little 2-out rally going here.
First baseman number 25, Parker Franck.
If they find a way to score that run from second, I think I can speak for both of us and say we wouldn't be surprised.
Not with the way these two teams have already played each other twice this year.
That one finds the zone for a strike.
As we were talking about the pitch count for Williams in the last at-bat, he's already thrown 23 just in this inning alone.
That one catches the corner for a strike. He's head 0-2. Long outings and long innings like that really kill starts. And that's a good thing for Heidelberg to get him this deep in his pitch count this early. That means they're more than likely going to have to go to the bullpen a little earlier than they would like to. Typically, Adrian likes to get it to the 8th inning and hand the ball over to Darnell to try to shut the door from their starter. They do have good arms in the bullpen, though, and Craig Rainey is mentioned even in his press conference last night, he's not afraid to use his bullpen's arms. They've been great all year. So he's confident giving them the baseball.
They have had to use him a little more frequently than I think Coach Rainey would like. going through 3 pitchers total yesterday in game number 2. A couple pitchers out of the bullpen in game number 1. But we won't see one right now as Williams gets the swing and a miss from Franck to end the inning.
So his 4th strikeout of the day. Second time he sat down Parker Franck. Cordenti, Kuroshi, and Cooper. 7-8-9 due up for the Bulldogs. They hang on to their lead. 2-1. We go top 4.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Kevin Cordenti, Jason Croce, Brandon Cooper due up as the rain starts to fall. No weatherman, but the Weather Channel app told me there was going to be about a brief light rain coming at 12:20. It's pretty accurate, 12:22 here in Adrian, Michigan. Cordenti sends a line shot to left field. That one spinning around and caught by Sykes. Joe, you were looking at the radar. It didn't look like it was anything too bad.
No, not yet. It looks like somewhere around 1:30 we might see some heavier stuff. Unfortunately, with the wind, with the way the wind's blowing today, we can't see it coming. It's coming from behind us here in the press box, so it'll be a surprise to us as to when it shows up.
This game was pushed ahead half hour early to try to beat weather. So those of you that tuned in at noon, there was late notice. So that one sent into center field. Hard turn from Croce, but he stays at first. Those of you who tuned in at noon thinking the game was about to just start, we apologize. There was kind of late notice all around on the decision to move to 11:30. There wasn't really much of a social media push. Nonetheless, the game started at 11:30. I'm Darren Pitcher along with Joe Templin. We're bringing you through today's game.
I think we didn't get the text until around 10 o'clock that the game time was moved up. So, yeah, definitely not a whole lot of notice for anybody here. It was kind of a game time decision, I think, by both the coaches and the tournament directing staff, athletics director Mike Duffy here at Adrian College, making the call to move it up and try and get at least one game in before the bad rain comes in.
And I'll tell you, after spending 12 hours here yesterday, I slept about every minute that I could and rushed my morning routine a little bit. But nonetheless, we're here. We're ready for a great day of baseball. And we hope the weather would cooperate because we'd love to see the teams be the main story and not the weather.
Yeah, and if you're an Adrian Bulldog fan, you're hoping for a long day of baseball, looking for 2 games here. Need to win 2, can't afford to lose 1, as they've already lost in that first game to Heidelberg. So backs to the wall as it was yesterday for the Bulldogs, looking to fight back and get into that super regional.
Counts 3-1. Cooper sends a shot to right field. And it's going to find the turf as that one played with Bateman a little bit. We saw him pursuing towards the post. Spun him around and got behind him. As the storm's coming in, looks like the flags are pushing back towards left center field. That one might have helped him a little bit.
Yeah, we get that the wind that we normally see here in Michigan coming out of the west, pushing straight out to right field, just over the head of Bateman there. Cooper, 2 for 2 on the day, continues to have the hot bat for the Bulldogs.
So the rain's starting to fall a bit harder now.
You got to wonder about how that turf on the mound is going to keep up. We saw it in the MIAA tournament where the pitcher had an issue with that plant foot slipping because the mound has a little bit different turf than the rest of the field. There's not those rubber pellets on it. It's made from a different substance, so you don't get as much grip. Pitchers usually will wear a different shoe on that to deal with that, not a normal cleat as you might see other players in the outfield wearing. Shearing ahead in the count, 2-1 here. Make it 3-1 as another one misses low.
Here's the 3-1. That one's a strike to Zach Shearing. He walked and later scored. And this right here, a tough spot. You do have to look at the rain and the way it's falling down. If you're Adrian, you want to attack here. You have runners in scoring position. You don't want this to get called right now or delayed. So you really have to make your moves now. As Shearing swings and strikes out. It'll be the 4th strikeout of the day for Phillips. Brings up Thomas Miller.
Another guy who's had a hot bat so far today. Another 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Had that nice bunt single down the third base line. You just mentioned it with the rain. Starting to pick up a little bit. The fans out there on the hill in center field that decided to pack up. A little too much for them. Luckily, the stands here at Nicolay Field are covered. So most of the fans here are staying dry, or as dry as they can with the way the wind's blowing.
Miller sends a shot to left. Looked like it was knuckling a bit. And nothing comes of runners on second and third as they get Miller to fly out to left. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th. Looks like the rain has moved away. Tyler Smith, Eric DeVore, and Zack Doran due up next for the Student Princes.
Academic scholarships instead of athletic scholarships. This really puts the focus that the student athlete needs to maintain that GPA.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III. A lot of people pick schools just based on the sport and don't get that experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court.
I'm also the Schwartz Scholar of my class. Schwartz Scholarship is basically a scholarship that is given to a student who's identified as a likely leader.
And the end of the day, it won't matter how they play on the field, it will matter how they do in the classroom.
Let's check on some scores from other regional championship games going around. The one that this region's fans are going to look at, Worcester still up 4-0 on Case Western, bottom of the 6th. Cortland up on Tufts 12-2 in top 7. UMass Boston and Wheaton are tied in the top of the 3rd. Rowan down to Washington and Jefferson 6-4, bottom 5. Concordia Chicago up on Buena Vista 6-4, bottom 3. Keene has the score on Shenandoah 1-0, top 2, and then Southern Maine up on New England College 5-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Those are the only games we have scores on so far here in the regional championship day across D3 baseball.
That one's Flown out to left center field. Shearing takes charge. Brings up Eric DeVore, designated hitter.
Eric DeVore.
DeVore had that ground rule double over the wall in right center field there in the second. Stranded at third, but he got the runner over to third that ended up coming around.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss for DeVore.
Would you look at that, Darren? Look up straight ahead. We got some blue skies coming over right now, but unfortunately moving quickly. We'll see how long that lasts.
The 1-1. That one's fouled back into the netting. Just from the brief look I had when you were checking the radar, it looked like it was very spotty as of right now. Probably the forefront of what's to come.
Yeah, let's talk about the weather again in an hour when it looks like it's going to open up on us here.
We could talk to some other people, see if we can get that moved so we can keep playing baseball. That's what I'd prefer. Here's the 2-2 from Williams. That one misses outside.
Maybe the next major investment in athletics here at Adrian College will put a dome over the stadium here. Can play no matter what. Instead of taking spring break trips down south, we'll have the spring break trips here in Adrian.
I think they'd still rather go south. Spring break around here is still about 30, 40 degrees. Not the greatest. There's a strikeout for Williams. That's the fifth. I am behind the dome thing, control it. But can you imagine how many more MIAA games be played here than there already are?
Be the MIAA stadium.
Basically.
However nice, I don't see that happening. Though we've already put a lot of money into athletics here. We just got the brand new boathouse down on 223. Absolutely gorgeous. There's a new golf simulator being built in the Marilat Sport and Fitness Center right now. That's coming along nicely.
That one finds the zone. Doran's looking at an 0-2 count. And an RBI. Back in the second.
Very apparent that President Docking here really cares about the athletics here at Adrian College and understands how important that is to the college experience and getting kids on this campus.
And when your athletics gives back with the success and winning that they do, makes it a little bit easier to spend that money on them.
We touched on a little bit of the NCAA success that has been had by the Adrian College teams this year, but we've also had some success at the club sport level.
The 0-2 sent out to center field and over the head of Shearing. That one's going to bounce onto the hill for our second ground rule double. Brings up Robert Hunt.
We talk about that club sports success that we've had here at Adrian. You see all the varsity baseball team banners out there, left center, center field. There's also the club baseball team won the Division III championship last year. First year in program history winning the national championship. And then our Division I ACHA men's hockey team took home the national championship last year. So success not only at the varsity level but also the club level here at Adrian College.
You have to wonder when are these banners going to meet. There's not much more room out there on the center field wall for more banners. Eventually, we're just going to have to go with the Red Sox method and build a black monster out there in left field so we can just put all of our banners over there. Keep our sponsors on the rest of the fence. Now, Jordan Williams working ahead again. That's two consecutive batters. He's putting an 0-2 count. Doran worked his way around it. Robert Hunt looking to do the same.
The key for Williams is going to be keep that up. He's been ahead in quite a few counts already today, but he has fallen behind after getting up. So he's got to keep throwing strikes, pounding the strike zone, as we see him miss one there. Maybe trying to get Hunt to chase a little bit.
Beautiful 0-2 pitch just outside the zone. Williams checks on Doran, fires the 1-2, and Hunt's worked back to a 2-2 count. And the counts are in full.
Another score update from that Worcester Regional. Worcester just put another one around 5-0, and it looks ever more likely that they're going to force a second game today with Case Western Reserve.
I must say the weather looks a lot better over there.
Yeah, a lot more blue in the sky than here.
They might have better weather, but I bet you we have better baseball. That one gets past the diving paddock at first. This one going to the corner. That's going to plate Doran. Rounding second, going for third is Hunt. And he will slide in safely. RBI triple for Robert Hunt. Looked like Croce was playing him a little in the left center gap. He pulled that one right down the line, gets his way all the way to third. And we are back to tied.
Absolutely huge for Heidelberg there to make use of that double with 2 outs, get one back on the board, tie the game up, and I'll tell you, these Student Prince fans are making themselves heard here at Adrian College today. You'd think this game was being played in Tiffin with how loud they are.
We have time called by David Curtin. This one sent into center field. RBI single for Kane Bateman. These two teams continue to trade punches. Brings up Kyle Jenkins.
The bottom of the order flipping to the top, getting things done for Heidelberg just as it is for the Bulldogs so far.
Jenkins looks at strike one from Williams. Looks like there is an arm loosening in the bullpen. Seems to be a righty.
Looks like we've got action in both teams' bullpens. Can't see as much the Adrian Bulldogs bullpen down there behind that right field fence, but definitely can see a right-hander warming up in the Heidelberg bullpen on the left field side.
Breaking ball sent into right field. This one's down in the corner. That's could bring in another. Rounding third, coming home, and there is no play at the plate as Bateman comes in all the way from first. RBI double, and the Student Princes are putting some things together. That's going to bring out Craig Rainey.
It's another one where Croce had to run a long ways to get that one down there in the corner.
He kind of continues to play between first and second baseman over there. After being beat a couple times down the line, he's still giving it up.
Looks to be just a calming talk between the Raineys and Williams, as the rest of the infield not coming in to talk this one over.
Kernan taking his time, just now getting to the mound. And Rainey exits.
Big 2-out rally here for Heidelberg. Plating those 3 runs all with 2 outs after a couple quick ones. The fly out to center and then the strikeout. Thought it was going to be a quick inning here for Williams. Not so much.
Huge 2-out rally for these student princes. That's a big cut there. Matt Sykes was looking to plate 2 more with that one.
Already struck out twice today. You know Sykes is itching to get a hit and keep this rally going.
One misses outside. This one's fouled back.
Sykes finds himself down to his final strike yet again. The 2 strikes on him.
This one popped up, foul territory. Darnell and Rainey giving chase. Darnell's going to make the play in front of the dugout. So the student princes with a bit of an outburst. 2-out rally, plates 3. They take a 4-2 lead into the 5th inning. We'll be back for more here on ACTV.
Division III schools offer academic scholarships instead of athletic scholarships. This really puts the focus that the student athlete needs to maintain that GPA.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III. A lot of people pick schools just based on the sport and don't get that experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court.
I'm also the Schwartz Scholar of my class. Schwartz Scholarship is basically a scholarship that is given to a student who's identified as a likely leader.
And the end of the day, it won't matter how they play on the field, it will matter how they do in the classroom. Division III schools.
Gunnar Rainey going to start things off with the Bulldogs. 2 RBI single in his last at bat. Hoping that turned the tide for his batting. Struggled here in this regional.
Yeah, we'll see if it can continue. I mean, we saw it yesterday with Thomas Miller after struggling in Game 1 for the Bulldogs. Got on and was able to get a few hits, but looks like Rainey will not be as fortunate.
That one skied into center. Taken by Hunt. Brings up Brady Wood.
Second baseman, number 11, Brady Wood.
1 for 1 on the day for Wood. Singled to left field in the first and then had that sacrifice bunt to move the runners around. Helped get things going in that 3rd inning where the Bulldogs put up the 2 spot. Phillip gets first pitch strike, 2 batters in a row. He struggled to do that. Now 10 for 22 on getting the first pitch to the batter as a strike. Quickly goes up 0-2 in the count to Wood. That one misses high.
Counts 1-2 now on Wood. Counts even 2-2. This one down the line, just foul.
Just barely missed that first base bag. It's a good read on it by Franck. Playing a little closer to that line than you might expect. Where maybe a third baseman might normally stand on the third base line. To be able to guard that corner, as we've seen it be the hot corner this tournament so far.
2-2, that one's going to be put between third and short. Another single for Brady Wood. He's having quite the championship game.
2 singles today already. 2 singles yesterday. Really starting to pick things up.
Brings up Dugan Darnell.
And as we mentioned the last time was up, this is a guy that needs to pick things up for the Bulldogs. Struggling mightily so far is Darnell.
Doran requests some shades over there at Schwartz. The sun's peeking through the clouds.
One for 14 so far for Darnell as he stands in. 1 for 4 against Heidelberg, 0 for 4 in both games yesterday, and 0 for 2 here today.
Watches the first pitch for a strike.
And you got to think where his average stands on the season. Something's got to give here for Darnell.
He'll take that one. We've mentioned before, he leads the team in getting plunked. And he finds a way on.
It's the 18th time he's been hit by a pitch this year.
Crowding the plate, really paying off for him.
Now batting first baseman number 23, Chad.
Brings up Chad Paddock. Paddock's 0 for 2 today.
That puts Darnell inside the top 10 in the NCAA for most times being hit by a pitch. Tied for 8th.
That one off the glove of Doran. Looked like Wood was going to keep going there.
Would have been a tough play for Doran anyways, and Paddock will be credited with a base hit. Infield base hit, loads the bases with 1 out for Kevin Cardenti.
Now batting designated hitter number 9, Kevin Cardenti.
Cardenti looking to pick up an RBI. Could more than likely do so if he finds the outfield in some way, shape, or form. Watches a breaking ball miss for ball 1.
Very sporadic playing time for Cardenti. Came in as a pinch hitter in game 1 for the Bulldogs yesterday against La Roche. Also had 1 at-bat on May 4th against Hope, but other than that, hasn't played in a month as he got 2 at-bats in 2 games against Albion 1 month ago today, April 19th.
Fouls that one off, runs count 1-1.
Looking at the numbers, looks like he hasn't started a game since March 24th, an 18-0 victory over Alma for the Bulldogs.
For guys like this, when moments are rare, you can capitalize and turn small moments into big ones. He's going to get an RBI here, making the most of his chance to play in this one.
Big sac fly there. Gets the Bulldogs within 1. Still 2 runners on with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Brings Adrian 1 run closer. And Jason Croce steps in. Croce had a single in his last at bat, struck out back in the second.
Once again, we'll see if that single back in the last inning is the spark that Croce needs to get things going.
The 1-0. This one sent into the gap. Will it find the turf? It will. Bounces up against the wall. That's going to plate Darnell. Paddock's being waved around. Croce's at third. No throw. 2 RBI triple. And Adrian returns the punch as they put 3 up in the 5th.
Wow, and we've talked about these teams being able to answer each other when they have innings, and it is a slugfest here in championship game 1. And right before Croce hit that, I was going to say, with Cooper on deck, that's a guy you want in this situation with runners on. You don't want to have him leading off. Granted, it would be a good option to get him on leading off, but still, you want him to have the ability to drive those runs in, as it looks like the Student Princes are going to turn over to the bullpen, and Phillips' day is done.
So Cooper will be up next. We're going to go to the break. We'll have more on the reliever when we come back. So Brandon Cooper steps in. Can't even read my own writing there. He doubled back in the 4th, singled in the 2nd. And singled in the 3rd. Oh, I know what that is now. Advance to second on a pass ball. That's what that note's supposed to read.
Yes, it was the single in the 3rd and the double in the 4th for Cooper. Back up again in the 5th. He'll face new pitcher Mason Metz for the Student Princes. 17th appearance this year, 3-1 record with 1 save, 31 in the 3rd innings pitched, 28 hits surrendered, 12 runs, 10 of those earned as he gets one in there for a strike. 8 walks, 23 strikeouts, 2.87 ERA. Last pitch, just 1 out, picked up a strikeout in the Conference Championship loss to Otterbein for the Student Princes.
This one bounced down the 3rd base side.
Doesn't stay on the mound for a whole long. He's gone 4 innings 3 times so far. That's a career high. First time he did that was in the 16-5 Heidelberg victory over Adrian on March 20th.
Here's the 1-2. This one bounced up the middle. It's going to be played by the shortstop. And Doran makes the play. Cooper can't drive in the run. He's frustrated with himself. So Cooper's finally sat down. And the big inning for the Bulldogs comes to an end. We go 4-5-6. Middle lineup for the Student Princes. We'll be back at the bottom of the fifth here on ACTV.
Allows you to be able to give yourself to other things. Not even just participate in them, but really get involved with them if you want to.
There's a lot of interaction. It's not just sitting back, taking notes. You're actually doing hands-on things and better preparing yourself for your major.
Choosing a Division III school, I've had the opportunity to develop my leadership skills and to be more involved on campus.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
And to have opportunity to have time to join clubs and being able to play basketball, it allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Division
So we have a new pitcher for the Bulldogs. It is Spencer Ford. Joe, you got the final line on Williams.
Yeah, Williams goes 4 innings, gives up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. Ford comes in, making his 16th appearance on the year, 0-1 record with 1 save, 19 1/3 innings thrown, 22 hits, 12 runs, 7 of those earned, 14 walks and 16 strikeouts, so not the ratio you really want to see. 3.26 ERA. Hasn't pitched a whole lot recently. Last pitched on May 4th against Hope, went 2/3 of an inning and took the loss in that 4-3 Flying Dutchman victory, giving up the game-winning run. So he gives up a leadoff single to Ochoa here.
Not just the second time leadoff man's been on for Heidelberg. They couldn't score him. That was back in the first. Parker Franck steps up. He's 0 for 2 today. That one inside. So both teams going to the bullpen. Starters have been knocked out in this 5-4 contest. That one fouled off. It was count 1-1.
And with Williams only going those 4 innings pitched, not in line for the win, although he left the game with the Bulldogs in the lead.
This one's fouled off. It was count 1-2. The 1-2 fouled off. Good at bat from Franck.
Most of Ford's outings have been quality pitching. It's just been 2 or 3 outings where he's gotten shelled in a little bit of time that's really bumped up that ERA, including the Heidelberg matchup earlier in the season. Gave up 5 runs, 3 of those earned in just 1/3 of an inning pitched. ERA of 81.0 in that game. Not quite what you want to see.
Just a touch high. That one's fouled off. This is the way to attack the reliever out of the bullpen. Give him a lengthy at bat.
This will be the 7th pitch of the at bat here, coming from Ford. It's doing good to pound the strike zone, only giving up 1 ball so far to Franck.
This one's sent to center field. Shearing comes on to make the play.
Looked like Shearing kind of took 1 step backwards and to his right a little bit before realizing he had to charge hard towards the infield and to his left a little bit. But he's able to run it down and make the play.
So Ford gets his first out. We'll see Tyler Smith walked and scored in the 2nd. Flew out to center in the 4th.
Smith getting that first run for the Student Princes, getting them on the board, giving them the lead, albeit not for long.
No leads really lasted very long in this one.
No.
It's almost like basketball with how many lead changes we have.
And up there at the scoreboard, when the Bulldogs took the lead over 2-1 in the top of the 3rd, that's been the longest time anyone's held it, as Heidelberg waited until the bottom of the 4th to regain the lead with that 3 spot they put up before the Bulldogs took 3 back in the top of the 5th that we just saw.
This one's fouled off. Runs the count 1 and 2.
Ford working from the front of the count for the 2nd batter in the row.
This one to Paddock. He's going to go to 2nd, trying to turn 2, and he throws it away. This one's going to get in the left field. Cooper's going to have to come on and play it. So Tyler reaches on the air by Paddock. And that puts Ochoa to 3rd. Runners on the corner, 1 out. Double play still in order.
I believe Smith will reach on the fielder's choice there, and it'll be Ochoa being safe on the air.
So that one's caught by Croce. But that will get the run in from 3rd.
Shortstop number 4, Zack Doran.
Brings up Zack Doran. Crown will double in his last at bat.
1 of 2 we've seen already today. Doran looks at that one for a strike, 0-1.
One's a breaking ball, swung on and missed by the shortstop. Time is called. Ford does the smart thing. He was in the middle of his windup. finishes the pitch rather than trying to hold up. That's how injuries happen on the mound.
Definitely want to avoid an injury in a game like this.
That one misses high. Runs count 1-2. Kind of have to wonder if that changes the approach, as we saw a curveball on the pitch that was called no pitch because of the timeout. So they had to come back with a fastball there. Change it up. This one right at Miller. He makes the play, throws over to first in time to retire the side. Heidelberg answers, ties things back up. Runs aplenty here at Nicolay Field. We have the top of the order, 1, 2, 3, due up for Adrian in the top of the 6th. Zach Shearing, Thomas Miller, Gunnar Rainey. The 3 Bulldog batters due up. Shearing's 0 for 2. He's walked and scored. Strikeout and a ground out to first.
So it looks like the rain clouds are coming in. That is a very large and very dark cloud entering our field of view over that left field line coming in. Hopefully that can hold off. Looks like we might not be able to finish this game before then, though. Keeping an eye on that Worcester Regional. Case Western Reserve puts up 4 in the 7th. 7-4 now. Worcester still leads. 8th inning about to start theirs. Worcester walks up to the plate.
That game is important because whoever makes it out of this regional will play the winner of that matchup.
Some more action from the Mideast region. Baldwin Wallace finished off a suspended game with Concordia Chicago. They await the winner of Concordia Chicago and Buena Vista. Chicago up 8-4. As you can start to see those aforementioned rain clouds creeping in on the top left part of your screen at home or wherever you're watching today here on ACTV. The good news is if the game is suspended, it's a tie game. No one has the advantage coming out of the break. Both teams with fresh pitchers so far. Changes the strategy a little bit in a weather delay.
This one's sent to center field. Hunt retreats, makes the play. Brings up Thomas Miller. Couple of singles, including a bunt single in his 2 for 3 day.
Lined out to left. Hard hit ball off of his bat on the second pitch. Last time he was up in the 4th. Looking to keep things rolling. Maybe start a little 1-out rally for the Bulldogs.
Breaking ball inside. Thomas has to move out of the way of that one. Another breaking ball. This one finds the zone. Line shot down the third base side. This one's going to get to the corner. Miller. There's a funky hop off the fence. It's going to allow Miller to come and round second hard, but hold there. He thought about three. Thought better of it with only one out.
Yet another weird hop off the fence down there and left. We've seen tripped up Cooper a couple times down there for the Bulldogs, especially in that first game against Heidelberg, off the fence.
Catcher number 10, Gunnar Rainey.
That one finds the zone for strike one on Gunnar Rainey.
1 for 3 on the day. Struck out in the first, singled in the third, and flew out to center field in the fifth in his last at-bat. Looking to plate Miller, who's had a great game so far.
This one fouled off. The wind really picking it up. As the cloud cover moves in, takes over just about all of Nicolay Field. We're still hanging on in the right field corner. A little bit of hope. But you can see, possibly see, we can see it from here. Not sure if you can catch it on the camera or not, but the wind blowing Thomas Miller's jersey out at second. You can't really see it as much on the black as you can on the yellow.
And these batters, obviously it's hard to put the ball exactly where you want it, but fly balls to right field will really be crucial with the wind blowing out to the right field fence.
Rainey ducks out of the way of that one, making the count 1-2.
You got to think that the wind has helped those 2 ground rule doubles get the ball over the fence. Obviously, you're going to have the big hop on the turf, but the wind helping carry it out towards that fence to get to a spot where it can go over on the bounce that we've seen Heidelberg put up so far.
And they have 2 of those today. They haven't seen any all tournament. 2 of them. A lot of crazy things have happened here in this Adrian Regional. That breaking ball missed inside to set up this 2-2 pitch from Metz. That one finds the zone for strike 3.
Rainey just a little too patient there, waiting for his pitch. Good breaking ball in there for Metz.
Brings up Brady Wood. He singled between third and short in his last at bat. He has a sacrifice bunt and a single in the first. With a runner on second, that hole on the left side much bigger with the shortstop holding. If he can put one there, we can see if the speedy Thomas Miller can make his way home from second.
Kind of surprised that we didn't see Miller move on to third, and they decided to hold him as second as he had a big round on second base, and with that left fielder Sykes misplaying, and he's going to have to make a rush throw. Made a rush throw that ended up being about 10 feet off the bag at third. We might have seen Miller over at third. Runner at third with 1 out, Rainey at the plate. Maybe a different approach for Rainey, just trying to get one in the outfield instead of trying to get a hit to score Miller.
Woods ahead 2-0 in the count. 2-0's a breaking ball, catches his own first strike.
So it looks like we have a conversation between home plate umpire and crew chief David Kernan and the Adrian College dugout. Might have been a little bit of disbelief on the strike zone Kernan's calling so far on the Adrian side.
So Metz has fought back to make it a 2-2 count.
Not sure if trying to argue those balls and strikes is going to help or hurt the Bulldogs' case there as they get another inside breaking ball called for a strike.
Wood looking to put something in play, score the runner from second to regain the lead that's gone back and forth. That bounces in, runs the count full.
Base open and a full count. Do you maybe not want to pitch to Brady Wood to get Dugan Darnell up, who's struggled in this tournament? We've already talked about it. 1 for 14 so far for Darnell. Got hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. But, I mean, if I'm Heidelberg, I might want to face the guy who's struggling instead of facing to Wood, who's had a great game today and a great game last night.
Breaking ball, this one skied into center field. Easy play for Robert Hunt. And the wind moved it, but he makes the play. One out double, gets stranded. Brings up Robert Hunt, Kane Bateman, and Kyle Jenkins for the Student Princes. We're deadlocked at 5, going to the bottom of the 6th.
I know sports is important, but having the academic part along with it is a big plus.
I've discovered in myself, a newfound ability to overcome adversity at all different angles.
At a Division III school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual. The end result in my mind is you just become a very well-rounded person.
Before I came into college, I didn't really think I'd be able to balance so much. It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
With a D3 school, there's a lot of time for other opportunities. The coaches expect a lot of you during soccer, but after soccer, that's your own personal time to really find out who you are and other opportunities that you can pursue.
By balancing all of my interests, basketball, my leadership skills, and academics, I'm able to better prioritize my life and to manage it.
So the rain is back, and so are we.
So once again, you see the fans that had repopulated the hill. Oh, time to go back into some shelter.
Miscommunication. Bunt back to the middle. That one was bobbled by Ford. He was able to regain himself, but Chad Paddock was all the way to the mound. Miscommunication as Wood wasn't there to cover. Nobody home. So a bunt single for Robert Hunt. Kane Bateman now steps in.
Is indeed going to be a hit, confirmed from the scores table.
This one up the middle, just past Miller. And Hunt was on the move on the pitch. He's going to make it all the way to third. Runners on the corner, nobody out for Kyle Jenkins, who had an RBI double in his last at bat.
Another one hit right at Ford there.
Rain picking up, you can start to hear it. This one's fouled off. Rain really coming down now. You can probably see that on your screen, how heavy it's coming down. Breaking ball for a strike.
Really coming down now, making it hard for us to see.
And a little mist here in the press box. Counts now 2-2.
Jenkins tried to hold off there, just couldn't.
So a sudden either stop or dramatic change into a sprinkle. Count goes full.
The wind staying strong, really moving those trees in the outfield past center field.
That fastball misses low. Bases are loaded for Matt Sykes, who's 0 for 3 today. There is an arm warming up in the Adrian bullpen.
Sykes looking for his first hit of the day.
This one sent to right, deep. Croce goes back, and it's over the fence. That's a grand slam for Matt Sykes. That's the way to get out of an 0-3 start.
Wow. Like I said last inning, that wind going out to right field is going to be crucial. That's exactly where Sykes sent that ball over the high fence in right, and this Heidelberg crowd is loving it.
So we traded jabs back and forth. Now Heidelberg throws an uppercut. That one carries over the fence for a grand slam.
Was that on the first pitch as well?
Not positive. Believe so. So that brings up Marco Shoa. He singled and scored back in the 5th.
Indeed, that was on the first pitch, a grand slam for Sykes. Wow. What a way to break out of a slump.
Well, even things up in the hit column at 11. And It's not about the hits, it's how you move the runners. And Heidelberg has done most of that. 9 runs on their 11 hits. Only 5 for Adrian so far.
And still no outs here in the 6th. This could be what we saw Heidelberg do in that first game they played way back in March, where Heidelberg put up 8 runs in the 8th to really blow that one wide open. We could be seeing that here again today.
So Sykes was 0 for 4 yesterday. He was 0 for 3 until that today. So 7 consecutive at-bats without getting a hit. Changes it all around with a grand slam.
And in that earlier game in March, it was Ford who got roughed up, giving up 5 runs, as he's already done so today.
This one, a diving catch by Shearing for the first out.
Another fly out to center for Franck.
Now batting second baseman number 2, Tyler Smith.
Looks like he tried to show a bunt on a drag bunt. Pulls it back, finds the outside of the zone. 0-1.
Ford comes set. There's a breaking ball for strike 2. Smith has walked and scored, reached on an error. Flew out to center field. Looking to keep this big inning alive. That one bounces in. And the rain is back. Seems like it's either pouring or nothing.
Coming down a little bit harder now than it seems like it was before. Wind's starting to whip it around here in the stadium.
The good news is the entire field is turf. So you don't have to worry about any puddles or stopping for that matter. The only thing of concern really is the pitcher's mound.
And we've seen a few slips already in this tournament from the turf being wet on that first day on Friday. The final out of that LaRoche-Denison game where the catcher slipped trying to make the throw down to first, and then we saw a slip up in the Adrian Heidelberg game, rounding first.
That's walk's going to keep the inning alive. To bring up Eric DeVore.
Now batting designated hitter number 33, Eric DeVore.
A little discussion with crew chief David Kernan and the officials upstairs, but it looks like we're going to keep things rolling here in the bottom of the 6th.
There is more significant of a weather threat coming later. So as unfortunate as this downpour may be, you do have to get through it. Runner goes. Rainey's throw not in time. It's a stolen base for Tyler Smith.
We saw Rainey's first throw attempt down there earlier in the game go a little high. That one about 5 feet short. One hop sent Miller at second. Looks like that ball a little too wet for Ford to get a good grip on.
1-0's a breaking ball. Can't find the zone. DeVore finds himself a 2-0 count. This is the 8th batter to come to the plate. Sitting highlighted by a massive grand slam by Matt Sykes.
Gotta wonder if the Bulldogs will be able to come back from that one in a tie game. Put the Berg up by 4. They're gonna have to battle back in these last 3 innings.
.3-0 finds the zone.
Doran on deck, looking to be the 9th batter for the Berg, batting around in the bottom of the 6th.
That's a check back to second on Smith. Keeps him honest.
So you can kind of hear just how strong the wind is picking up on our microphones.
This one set up the middle. Shearing has to retreat and makes the catch. So we see 8 batters. 4 runs and a grand slam for Heidelberg. In the bottom of the 6th, they take a 9-5 lead going to the top of the 7th. Adrian's going to make a move. They're going to have to do it just about now. So see if they can climb their way back in. We'll see how they answer when we come back.
So as we look at scores from around Division III baseball regionals, so far today, 1 ticket has already been punched to the Super Regional as SUNY Cortland takes down Tufts 18-5.
21 hits.
21 hits, yes. The
Phenomenal
score that I'm
for Cortland.
most of you are concerned about, the Worcester Case Western Reserve. Case Western making it tough on Worcester. 8-6 now in the top of the 9th as Worcester's at bat. We've got UMass Boston up on Wheaton 4-1. Washington and Jefferson holding on to a 6-5 lead over Rowan in the 8th. Concordia Chicago up 10-4 over Buena Vista in a semifinal game as Baldwin Wallace awaits the winners. That regional was delayed a little bit with weather this weekend. Johns Hopkins up on TCNJ 7-3. Keene holding on to a 1-run lead 3-2 over Shenandoah. Southern Maine putting a hurting on New England College 10-0 in the top of the 7th. Coe University up on Washington University 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. And Franklin up on Concordia, Texas 2-0, bottom 2. Those are the games currently going on in Division III baseball.
So Dugan Darnell, Chad Paddock, and Kevin Cordenti due up for the Bulldogs. And based off of the way scoring has gone so far, wouldn't be surprised to see Adrian tally at least one here. Darnell flies it out to the left side. And the play is made by Matt Sykes.
The hero so far for the Berg today with that grand slam last inning.
Chad Paddock.
Chad Paddock bounces one over to the third. Over in time to make the play.
Only 3 pitches to get 2 outs here for Mets. And you're right, it wouldn't be surprising to see at least 1 run here as the teams have scored in every inning but the first so far, trading runs every inning, starting with the second.
First pitch is a ball. Breaking ball inside. Runs count 2-0. That one's a strike.
Cardenti's still looking for his first hit since April 7th when he picked up 1 against Olivet.
This one's fouled off to run the count full. This one into center field, and there it is. Leadoff single. Not a leadoff single, 2-out single for Kevin Cordenti.
Seems like we've been having the opposite of the announcer's curse so far in this tournament.
Brings up Jason Croce. 2 RBI triple back in the 5th. 2 for 3. First pitch is a ball to Croce. This one a line shot into left field. Puts runners on first and second for Brandon Cooper in the 7th inning. And if you have done any scouting or have paid attention to any of the Adrian College games in this regional tournament, you might want to walk him here.
He's been a force so far for the Bulldogs.
He has 3 home runs in 2 days, 2 of them in the 7th inning. Steps in, 2 outs in the 7th, runners on first and second. And on top of that, each one of his home runs has either expanded the lead from what was a 1-run game or brought it to a 1-run game.
Most of his have been over to left center field with that 375 right in between the 2006 and 2008 banners for the Adrian College baseball team, but might look to try and go opposite field here with that win, pushing over the right field and take a page out of the Psychus playbook.
Metz checks the runners. Breaking ball's in for a strike. He's behind 0-2.
Also had 2 strikes on him when he hit that home run last night. It was a 1-2 count when Cooper went yard.
The 0-2, this one grounded to third, and Heidelberg will get out of the inning. A 7th inning magic for Brandon Cooper. Comes to a close. Bulldogs leave 2. Zack Doran, Robert Hunt, and Kane Bateman due up for Heidelberg.
It allows you to be able to give yourself to other things. Not even just participate in them, but really get involved with them if you want to.
There's a lot of interaction. It's not just sitting back, taking notes. You're actually doing hands-on things and better preparing yourself for your major.
Choosing a Division III school, I've had the opportunity to develop my leadership skills and to be more involved on campus.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
And to have opportunity to have time to join clubs and being able to play basketball, it allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Zack Doran, Robert Hunt, Kane Bateman due up. It was the bottom half of the lineup that got the rally started. For Heidelberg back in the 6th. And if you look back, we talked about errors and mishaps leading to runs for all the teams here in this regional. And that started with the miscommunication on the bunt laid down by Robert Hunt that started off the inning, which eventually got to the bases loaded, and Sykes cashing in on a grand slam.
Yeah, not an error there, but just a miscommunication by the players. I don't know, Paddock maybe thought that Ford wasn't going to be able to find a handle on it, even though it was a slow roller to him. He charges in. Wood's not there to cover first, and they get that first run on, and right now that's the go-ahead run.
Breaking ball misses. Counts 3-1.
Looks like we got some more rain clouds coming in, as this was a little break before. It looks like the big stuff's going to hit real soon.
There's the strike, runs the count full. Big swing and a miss. Start off the inning with a strikeout. And his first. That's his second.
Yeah, second for Ford.
Showa.
First for Doran on the day. Hunt's going to come up. 2 for 2 with the walk. Had that triple to drive in a run in the 4th during a 3-run inning for the Berg. And then, as we just talked about, had that bunt single to the pitcher's mound in the last inning.
The 0-1 bounces in. That one misses, runs the count to 2-1. One's fouled off, runs the count 2-2.
Full count now for Hunt. With 1 out, base is empty.
Short prop up will be taken by Thomas Miller. So go to the top with 2 outs for Kane Bateman.
Another guy who's had a big game for the Bergs so far. 3 singles, fly out to center, and of course was part of that grand slam. He was on second before Sykes brought him home.
Calls off the first pitch to go behind 0-1. That one misses. High, runs the count 2-1. This one's skied in foul territory. Rainey and Darnell giving chase. Can't make the play. Breaking ball stays too high. Count's now full. Activity in both bullpens as we near the late innings. And Bateman grounds out the paddock. That retires the side. 6 outs remain. Adrian needs 4 runs. They will start at the top. Shearing, Miller, Rainey.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Get someone a car.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy,
But it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
We can.
Brady Knisner, the new arm out of the bullpen for Heidelberg. He'll see the top of the lineup in Zach Shearing, Thomas Miller, and Gunnar Rainey. starts off his outing with a strike. This is the third time we're seeing Knizner in action here in the regional.
So far, so good for Knizner. 1 inning pitch in each of the first 2 games for Heidelberg. No hits and no runs. 2 strikeouts so far in the tournament for Knizner and just 1 walk.
Grounder back to Knizner. He's going to turn and make the play as he's a left-handy. He does make it. For the first out, brings up Thomas Miller. Talked about the rain and field conditions. Knizner did have a slip warming up on the mound.
Nominating the shortstop number 4, Thomas Miller.
Miller, weak grounder to first. Two quick outs. Brings up Gunnar Rainey.
So we have a couple more finals in D3 regional baseball action. Washington and Jefferson gets their ticket punch to the Super Regional, taking down Rowan 6-5. And Case Western Reserve made it tough on Worcester, but Worcester hangs on, wins 8-7. Case Western had runners on second and third in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, but a strikeout ends the game. So they'll be looking to play a second game today, starting shortly, I would guess, to see who the winner of this regional will play in the Super Regional next weekend.
That one misses high to Rainey. He's ahead 2-0 in the count. Now to Rainey. Throws a fastball to Rainey, who was taking it all the way. One fouled off. Knizner fights his way back into a full count. This one a liner into the gap. It's going to scoot to the wall with the wet turf.
And Adrian's leader in doubles does it again. Gets his second or 20th on the year, putting him into the top 10 in Division III. Second hit of the day for Rainey.
It was a heads-up play there by the right fielder, Bateman. As Hunt struggled to pick it up, they were both close to the ball, so he faked like he was throwing it in. Might had a little bit to do with holding Rainey at second. I think the situation with 2 outs, more so the factor.
Did not have a triple at all this year, Rainey.
So now we'll see Brady Wood. Adrian chasing 4. This one grounded up the middle. Played on at second. Throw over to first. Is scooped up by Parker Franck. And that retires the side. Adrian's going to be chasing at least 4 with Darnell Paddock and Cordenti due up in the top of the ninth. They're going to more than likely be facing Joey Wenning, who typically comes in to close the door for Heidelberg. We'll see Kyle Jenkins, Matt Sykes, Marco Shoa, bottom of the 8th.
So Jenkins will start things off for the Berg in the bottom of the 8th. There were no runs scored in the 7th inning. First time that's happened since the 1st. Student Princes hang on to a 9-5 lead here. Jenkins 1 for 3 today, doubled down the right field line in the 4th. Struck out in the 1st, ground out to short and a walk. Put him on first for that Psychus grand slam. Finds himself in the hole. 0-2 to Ford. Fouls that one off to stay alive. As Ford stays on the mound, getting some action in. Gets him looking there for his 3rd strikeout of the day.
Brings up Matt Psychus. I think we all know what he did in his last at bat at this point.
Number 8, the left fielder, number 11, Matt Psychus.
The shot heard throughout the entire city of Adrian.
Already the longest outing for Ford so far this year.
That grand slam is the deciding factor. We were deadlocked in a tie, and we've been scoreless since. That one catches zone for strike 2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Psychus. His 3rd of the day.
I think he's okay with those 3 after what he did the last time he was up. I think you'll trade a grand slam 4 RBI for 3 strikeouts in a game.
Batting the catcher, number 13, Mark Shaw.
Marco Shaw now steps in. He struck out in his last at bat. It's 2 for 4 on the day. Scored a run. Single and a double.
A lot of strikes being thrown here in the 8th by Wood. Really pounding the zone on these Heidelberg hitters.
He bounces that one in to even things up at 1-1. That one misses the zone. Counts 2-1 now.
Good hands by Ochoa to hold off on that check swing, not go around.
Big cut on 2-1. Ford looking to strike out the side. Keep the deficit at 4 going into the 9th. This one's fouled off. Stay alive. Two popped up and out of play. Got him looking for strike 3. So Ford strikes out the side. So the stage is set. Joey Wenning's going to come out of the bullpen, trying to shut down the Bulldog offense. 5, 6, 7 due up. Heidelberg 3 outs away from making it to the Super Regionals. We'll be back for the top of the ninth here on ACTV.
Division III allows you to be able to give yourself to other things. Not even just participate in them, but really get involved with them if you want to.
There's a lot of interaction. It's not just sitting back, taking notes. You're actually doing hands-on things and better preparing yourself for your major.
Choosing a Division III school, I've had the opportunity to develop my leadership skills and to be more involved on campus.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
And to have opportunity to have time to join clubs and being able to play basketball, it allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Dugan Darnell, the first to step in against Joey Wenning, the Heidelberg closer. A 3-out. It's not even a safe situation. 3 outs away from the Super Regional for the Student Princes, and a perfect record here in the Adrian Regional.
Yeah, he's been shut down all weekend long. Picked up his 10th save last night. Puts him tied for 5th in the country, just 3 off the lead. And not much more to say about Wenning. Just dominates in this regional. Although the last game before this regional, the conference championship against Otterbein, took the loss in that one, 7-3. Might have been a blown save. Pitched 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits and 4 runs with 4 walks. So a little uncharacteristic outing there for Wenning, but he's dialed it back in for this regional. Looking to finish off this game and send the Berg on to the Super Regional.
Adrian needs 4 to send it to the, if necessary, Game 7.
Well, first they need 4 just to send it to the bottom of the 9th inning, and then go from there and try and get another 1 or 2 to get that, if necessary, game.
Darnell shot to first, sliding stop. Race to the bag is won by Wenning.
A little bit of a collision there after Darnell hit first, running into Wenning a little bit. Some words were exchanged as Darnell heads back to the Adrian dugout. 1 down here in the top of the 9th.
Brings up Chad Paddock.
And the struggles continued for Darnell. Might come to an end there. Finishing 1 for 16 in the regional. Not what you want out of your number 5 hitter.
He was hot at the end of the regular season in the MIAA tournament. It's a strike and a slip there from Wenning. He's all smiles about it. The senior comes into the regional was on a bit of a hot streak, picking up a lot of saves, picking up some hits. He had a grand slam in his last game at home of the regular season and a save. And then comes into regional. Just can't see the baseball. Paddock skies one to shallow center field. Hunt's going to take charge and make the play. And they are 1 out away from the Super Regional. They're going to have to wait for the, if necessary, game to conclude between Worcester and Case Western Reserve. The game's set to start 2:35.
And it all comes down to Cardenti for the Bulldogs. As we mentioned in his last at-bat, got his first hit since middle of April.
So there's conversation about where that ball hit. Cardenti's saying it hit him on the elbow. But more importantly, Kernan is saying that it was off the bat, so the umpires are going to come together and talk about it.
Rainey was immediately out there to argue on Cardenti's behalf, causing the umpires to talk things over.
It's going to be a tough call from one of the umpires in the field. Ultimately, it's David Kernan's call. Field umpires typically only called upon for check swings, which that could also be the topic of conversation. They're going to award him first and say they hit him on the elbow. So Cardenti keeps it alive.
I will say, from up here, it didn't sound like it made contact with the bat. It sounded more of a dull thud that you would expect when someone gets hit in the arm.
Brings up Jason Croce.
Struggled in the tournament up until today. Big day for him. Couple of singles and that triple down the left field line. Let's see if he can keep it rolling.
That one's in for a strike. Fouled back up at us. 0-2 the count on Croce. They're down to their final strike.
14 hits in this game for the Bulldogs, just ultimately not able to get those runs around. 11 runners left on base to this point.
This one out to short, diving stop, but can't make a play. Nonetheless, keeps the runners at first and second. Brings up Brandon Cooper. Cooper has been hot in the late innings. He steps up to bat with runners on first and second. 2 outs.
It's a tough play for Doran there. Sure did a good job just being able to stop it from going into the outfield. Cardenti had quite a bit of speed coming up to second. Might have been able to try and stretch that out to third. We'll see if Cooper has that late inning magic in his bat still.
Watches breaking ball for ball 1. Fastball catches his zone, 1-1.
Just catches the outside part of the plate there. Good pitch from Winning.
Big swing, this one down the right side. Going back is Bateman, and it's going to be off the fence. That's going to plate 1 with runners on second and third now. And Cooper stays hot late with an RBI double to keep the Bulldogs alive. Gets it to the top of the order. So runners on second and third. brings the tying run to the plate.
Looks like Smith was down there trying to dry out the landing spot of that mound a little bit for Wenning.
Zach Shearing now represents the tying run. First pitch is in the dirt.
Been a little bit of a tough tournament here for Shearing. Oh for 4 today with a walk.
That one's in for a strike. Counts 1-1.
3 for 10 heading into the day in the tournament. Puts him at 3 for 14.
Breaking ball catches the zone, and once more, the Student Princes 1 strike away. Joey Wenning on the mound. Zach Shearing at the plate. He represents the tying run. Adrian needs to score him, and they only have 1 out to work with. Fouls it off to stay alive.
Season on the line here for the Bulldogs and Shearing. Senior could be having his last at-bat.
Wenning comes set for the 1-2. Fastball fouled off to stay alive.
Just barely gets a piece of that one.
We'll try the 1-2 once again. Wenning comes set, delivers another fastball, fought off by Shearing.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up here between Shearing and Wenning.
The 1-2 breaking ball. This one popped up and foul. The winner of this will take on the winner of Worcester and Case Western Reserve. It's set to start in 20 minutes. Thomas Miller awaits on deck if he should get the chance. If Shearing can find a way on. Breaking ball, another one fouled off by Shearing.
Now we'll see the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
The 1-2 breaking ball sent into center field is tailing away from Hunt, and he makes the catch. And Heidelberg University will win the Adrian Regional. They advance to take on the winner of Worcester and Case Western Reserve. as they dogpile between first and second. But a phenomenal regional. The Adrian regional was. La Roche, Denison, Adrian College, and the victorious Heidelberg Student Princes. Every game was close and down to the end. This one much the same as a grand slam is the difference from Matt Sykes back in the 6th inning. Adrian tallied 1 but couldn't get 3 more. Phenomenal season by both teams. Adrian College, the most wins in program history. Their season comes to an end. Heidelberg moves on. This time we'd like to thank everybody for watching, for both Adrian and Heidelberg, Denison and La Roche, for tuning into ACTV. It was a very fun weekend to broadcast the games. We thank everybody for watching, and then until next time, for my partner Joe Templin, I'm Darian Pitcher saying so long. Congratulations to Heidelberg. They move on to the Super Regional. Thank you for watching ACTV all weekend long.